Another artist in my top 10 albums.
MJ.
Yes, Off the Wall is in there. After a long debacle back and forth with Sony, they're finally buying the rights to his music and his estate.
Crazy.
Now, when Michael Jackson first passed away, I thought I heard rumors back then of Sony trying to get his stuff.
Before he was like, even, what,
2009, 8, before he even passed away. I thought that was a rumor then, is what I'm saying.
Back then.
Yeah, way back then. When I was still in high school, I thought that was a rumor. So I go back to dig before I read this new article about them buying stakes in Michael Jackson's catalog. I go back to see like how long they have been fighting about this. I don't see anything from 2009 anymore. Now it's just 2016 when they bought the Sony ATV, and that's when he had his stuff mixed in with the Beatles. They bought that. But I don't know, because you know I be in the conspiracies online, and they always talk about how that was a major thing right before he passed away. And now, today, Sony is buying a stake in Michael Jackson's catalog for over $1.2 billion. This is said to be the highest ever.
That's an insane amount of money. That's an insane amount of money.
Largest ever of a musician's asset.
Of course, he has this movie coming out too, the biopic. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, biopic. It'll be called Michael. I'm excited to see it, but
isn't his
nephew?
His nephew's playing. Okay, I think they just dropped yesterday. There was a picture that dropped of like the first look of what he looks like. Yeah,
think it's gonna be good.
I hope so. In the words of Kodak,
I mean, I feel like with them buying the stakes and the catalog and everything, it has to be for a reason.
That's really unfortunate that like these companies are like
able to process these. I mean, obtain these people's stuff like this.
So that's so yucky to me.
Yeah, because I always just thought that,
especially if you know like there was beef and that's not what he wanted. Like that's so yucky to me.
You know, he's been trying to buy stuff forever and keep his publishing and his stuff in his family. So you go and buy it back. But what I don't understand these laws and music laws and stuff. It's like once you pass away, like I don't even understand why it doesn't automatically just go to the family.
Right.
And even if the family does decide to sell it, then that's on them. But this is not the situation here. Michael Jackson's estate is owned by not his brothers and sisters, and it's being sold to Sony now. And it generates so like how much money a year did they say? $75 million a year just from his catalog. And just from his songs in general, $47 million.
That's an obscene.
Because he owns other people's stuff. He owns, I want to say, Ray Charles, Curtis Mayfield, Sly and the Family Stone. They like over 250 songs. So he's also getting paid for their stuff.
That's an obscene amount of money.
Yeah.
So I think that whole, the music business, it's a business at the end of the day. But I think that is yucky.
Yeah,
it's so yucky that you know that this man did not want this in his life.
Yeah.
And now after his life, y'all are still being like,
and now it's
vultures,
like with them owning these rights, they can basically do
that. And then this AI shit is crazy right now.
Right. That's what I'm like, what if they're about to put out new Michael Jackson albums? Or what if they're like unreleased songs? Like think about them selling Michael Jackson songs. Or
doing these like these what do they do with like the lasers or the holograms? They could put them on a stage with
they
holograms.
Already do that. They do that in Vegas. It's a performance. It's him performing in a hologram.
I don't like it.
But what they don't own though is stuff like that. So they don't own like the Broadway show and like the music that's being played on movies and TV. Okay. That's why I was interested about well, they said Broadway. They didn't say movie.
Okay.
But that's why I'm interested about the biopic. But with them owning that, they can also like now clear samples. We're probably going to hear a lot more Michael Jackson samples now. And also like, remember the Michael Jackson experience? What if they bring something like that back? Like we can have video games now that they own these rights, you know? There's a lot of stuff they can do.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, it's nice that like, that would be nice. Like all of these different experiences would be nice. But if that's not what he wanted in his life, then it shouldn't be.
Prepare to see t-shirts in Urban Outfitters, Target, Michael Jackson everywhere.
Cause they gonna squeeze.
No, he's gonna be a literal ghostwriter now. If they sell his unreleased songs, work. It's really crazy.
That's yucky work. But I mean,
I wonder how the family feels because they were saying at the end of that article, they were saying, I think his lawyers and the estate they had no comment for the whole Sony thing. But I am excited about the biopic. It's unfortunate that he's not going to be in it or like here to arrange it. Like Ray Charles, I think that's why Ray was so good, because Ray Charles was involved in his movie. But I am interested to see another version of it, because the last Michael Jackson movie that we've seen was with the Jackson 5 American Dream, and that gave me PTSD.
I think it gave everybody PTSD.
Yeah.
That was a little
everybody
spooky.
Was whoo. But yeah, I need to see something else from Michael Jackson, and I'm interested to see what they're going to put in there about Michael Jackson. But I do think it'll be a good biopic to watch and very inspirational, just like this Bob Marley one coming out.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one too.
I am too. Soundtrack is fire. So that's what I'm interested in to hear for this Michael Jackson thing. And I think that's another thing, another reason why Sony needed to obtain these rights, because how do you have a soundtrack and you don't own the music? So who's going to sing these songs? Are you going to put Michael Jackson on there? Like, I really want to know.
I don't know. I feel like there would have been there's definitely has to be a way for them to have been able to get the music on to the movie without having to buy.
Well, maybe not in the way that they want it. Like, because maybe they don't want it to be Michael Jackson's voice. Like on New Edition, a lot of those, on the New Edition movie, a lot of those songs they were singing were them, the actors. Well, not them, but like Luke James. They were singing those songs. It wasn't the New Edition track. You know what I mean?
Copy.
So they might need it to do something like that. I don't know. It's all a little bit fishy, especially my conspiracy ass. Like, I heard a lot of shit about why Michael Jackson is really dead. I've seen LaToya, his sister, on interviews. I know. He didn't want to sell that stuff. So now that Sony has it, it makes me a little bit
uneasy. A bit uneasy for sure.
Yeah. It also scares me too, because Sony is like where the biggest artists in the world reside.
Yeah, it's like UMG and Sony are like the biggest.
Own your shit, people.
R&B only.